teachers and students from Imhotep Charter High School's STEM program were the special community partner invitees. The Birds helped support the school's recent trip to Ghana, and today they had a day they won't soon forget.
Some of the defensive guys really like to talk and crap that Saquon Barkley's bringing to them and ups the competition. You get involved with that?
Nah, I'd be out here too tired for all that. I do too much running to be doing all that.
Give me some respect right now.
We can't think it. All right, bro, I'm gonna mess with you. Nah, that was bad.
I know the sound that you're looking for. I know the sound.
6, 7. Hey, bro, mess with you, bro. Love. No, it's not right. It's not right. It's not right. It's not right. Hold on. That's the tape. Hold on. Hold on. Yeah. Real crisp. You know what I'm looking for. You know what I'm looking for. That was all right. That was better. I'll get out with an 8. Yeah, facts. You gotta be like, there you go. That's my boy right there.
Say it again. Thank you. I have a hug. That's fun.
Thank you.
That's it.
That's you? Holy hecka. Holy hecka. I've driven behind it. I was like, that's got to be an Uber. He's blasting eagle sounds from it too.
Yep.
Wow. Pleasure, dude.
Live training camp and why? The song this year. Back in Stride by Frankie Beverly. Frankie Beverly! You put me on the spot. But I'm trying to think hard along about that one. I'd say Back in Stride. That's a good one to get it going, get the juices flowing, and start a new journey. I love it. The journey.
What's going on, everybody? Day 10 of training camp in the Bucks, and I want to give a shout out to Darius Cooper today. Darius Cooper, undrafted receiver, started training camp, in my opinion, firmly on the long shot list. It was going to be a tough task for him to talk his way into the roster competition, but he's done just that. And, you know, I've covered training camp for a long time. Eagles fans love nothing more than a receiver that shows up in training camp. Rasheed Bailey, Paul Turner, Deontay Burnett, just all types of guys that when you're out here, you can see that they are NFL players and that they end up making an impact. And Darius Cooper is just that. Darius Cooper went to Tarleton State, not a huge college, but man, this guy every single day is making the most of his opportunities. And, you know, he's strong. You can see after the catch, he runs fast. He's made contested catches. Doesn't have the biggest size in the world, but doesn't play small. And he might force the Eagles into a little bit of a tough decision. So 3 preseason games coming up. He's going to play a ton. My guess is he's going to get a ton of passes thrown his way. And so the Eagles are going to have to ask themselves, is he better than Ainias Smith, right? Like similar sized players can do similar things. Ainias has had a year to kind of show what he can do. Darius Cooper has probably looked better in this training camp than Ainias has in either of the 2 he's had with the Eagles. So that's why these preseason games matter, because if he doesn't do much, they can just cut Darius Cooper, put him through the practice squad, and no big deal. But if Darius Cooper has an awesome few games and really the rest of the league gets to see him, that's when the tough decision comes in. So Darius Cooper making the most of camp. He's what camp's all about. I'm excited to see what he does in the preseason games and see if the Eagles have to make a tough decision. So that's day 10 here at the NovaCare Complex. Talk to you guys after a game on Thursday.
Now that I'm alone, 'cause right now it says that we can't come to the phone, and I know it makes no sense. Either about
Spend my nights out in the ballroom.
You gotta say the boy. He hit that low note.
Liquor was the only love I know.
But what's he do? What's he do? What's he do?
But you rescued me.
Okay. Tennessee whiskey. Huh?
Your
Teachers and students from Imhotep Charter High School's STEM program were the special community partner invitees. The Birds helped support the school's recent trip to Ghana, and today they had a day they won't soon forget. Going crazy. That was the reaction from Shirley Posey, the STEM director at Imhotep. Yeah, as Jalen Hurts took the field for practice this morning. Can I get a selfie? Sure. After practice, Jalen came back, took pictures with families, met with them. Imhotep's STEM program recently brought students to Ghana with support from the Birds. Today, they got to see their favorite team up close.
My great-grandma, my grandma, everybody, we love the Eagles. It's all we watch. My great-grandma has like posters hanging up in her room. During the Super Bowl, they were screaming to the top of their lungs. It's just big Eagles fans. I love the Eagles.
We're also preparing for a new season in the STEM world as well. So I think it's our partnerships and just how they're preparing. We see them putting in the hard work and determination. I think for us, that's going to give us more fuel to go out and save more lives and put more into the work that we do.
Much love. Thank you.
After practice, the Eagles wideout Anaya Smith met with reps from the school. He has a connection to the school that stems from the draft last year. We'll have that story coming up before the third preseason game right here on NBC 10.
Competitive situations this camp, it seems like this year more than ever, there's more competitive nature. How do you feel like the team's responding to that?
I think the team is in a great place from a competitive standpoint. Everyone's just striving and we're pushing each other every day. You know, he puts us in those. He puts us in those tough situations, in those situations where you have to make a play and figure it out. And I think competitively and from a camaraderie standpoint, it builds confidence in one another and the guy next to you, the guys on the other side of the ball. And so it's good to come out here and compete, know you're getting better because of the opponent you're going against every day.
What have you seen from Saquon this year versus last? He just seemed more comfortable, he's having fun, he's trash talking, he talked a lot about that. Have you seen a difference from him personality-wise?
I haven't seen a difference. That's who he is, and you know, after the year he's had and after the success he's had, you'd only think that you'd have confidence in yourself and where you are, and so I just want to see him build off of what he's established for himself.
For you, about you, right? I mean, more confident, Super Bowl MVP. Do you feel that too?
I get the same answer.
Jalen, how would you describe your relationship and chemistry with Jahan and how much it's grown since this time last year?
Yeah, you know, I got fired up today. Jahan had a big time catch versus cover zero. But it's just, you know, you build those things based off of time and reps and the efforts put in. And so you see Dallas out there and that connection that we've had. I mean, that's been a special connection all camp. Smitty, AJ when he's out there, Jahan showing, and now that we're able to build. And so just keep showing up and keep making plays and keep taking advantage of it. But I obviously have a lot of confidence in Jahan. I had a lot of confidence in him as the year went on last year, and for him to make the big-time plays he made towards the end of the year, that was all strictly based off of confidence.
When you throw that Quinion, whether it's to AJ or Devonta, what have you noticed about how much he's improved from last season, and what's it like trying to put a ball in there for that coverage?
I think for Quinion, he's just growing in confidence. You know, I don't know if y'all asked me or I brought it up, but it was something that I said the last time I sat here, just his confidence. And I even took the time to ask him. I said, man, what do you feel like the difference is for you in year two? He said confidence. And so just want to see that continue to develop and see that continue to grow. You know, he's been very sticky in coverage. He's been challenging all of those guys on the offensive side from a one-on-one standpoint. And so it's been good, it's been competitive, and we've all been getting better for it.
The Bengals have said they're going to play Hillsborough on Thursday. Do you feel like you can get yourself ready without playing in preseason games at this point in your career?
Well, I think anytime I have the opportunity to play, I'd relish in it and take advantage of it. And so if Coach makes that decision, I will.
You've been with Kevin for a long time. I mean, getting in-game experience with him, is that something you want in preseason? Yeah,
I think there are times where you can do that, obviously, in the game. You know, preseason games aren't real games in terms of what the defense is giving you and kind of what we're showing from an offensive standpoint. So that's all that you want to take into consideration. But, you know, when you have these competitive practices and, I mean, like we're doing these situations like we're doing, you just want to take advantage of that. And so that's what I'm afforded and given, and that's all I can control in terms of taking advantage of it.
So to get the joint practices again, that's probably a big thing.
I think practice every day is a big thing when you talk about building chemistry. So nothing's more important than the other. At the end of the day, every ounce of time we get with one another, we take advantage of it.
Jalen, the organization comes to keeping its good players tends to get ahead of things, right? Like this, you reached a year, like your third year, you could have waited a little bit longer. Is there a practical effect to that in the day-to-day, like being in the organization, practicing, games? Does it help that how we in the organization kind of follow that plan and that process?
I think that may be a question for someone that maybe is awaiting that. I do think it brings a sense of confidence, but you can kind of see a trend on how things go, whether it be by position or by timing and things like that. And so, Howie's always done a great job at doing what he does. He's been very intentional about his decisions, and so it's continued to put us in a great place. So as a player, as a quarterback, I want to hold up on my end and do what I'm asked to do.
Let's get that you asked Quinion. How often do you have those types of conversations like that? And is it intentional on your part, like out of curiosity, or to try to instill something in those guys?
Yeah, it's intentional. I think even in curiosity, my moments of being curious are even intentional. And so just having those conversations and seeing that, and if I got something on my mind, I'm gonna ask it. And I think as a teammate, getting to know my teammates from that standpoint, that stands a lot, because I want to know how they're seeing the game. I want to see why you're playing this type of technique right here, because this is what I'm thinking. So just those conversations, they go a very, very long way. They bring you closer together, and it's something that I think that is oozing throughout the environment, because everyone has experienced what it's like to, not everyone, but you got new guys that have seen what that looks like from afar, and you got guys that were on last year's team that have experienced that type of success. And so everybody wants to feel that feeling, and there's a bit of a togetherness, a bit of cohesiveness there to try and build just to pursue the collective, and I couldn't ask for more.
What does that kind of breed amongst the group when you know it's kind of like iron sharpens iron mentality, you're kind of seeing the best
Well, that's a pretty unique thing, because from Smitty's standpoint, I can assure that that's a Alabama mentality, and that's something that's kind of been ingrained in us. And so, given how many of those type of guys we have around here, SEC type guys, it all kind of comes from the same template and mold. And so, competition is everything. How Coach Sirianni goes about it, I applaud it and support it fully. And we just kind of build off of that. I think Coach Sirianni does a really good job of, again, just bringing those situations to life in practice, so we can already have a mode and have that much conviction when it is 4th and 5 and what we're going to do. 3rd and 1, what we're going to do. Everybody knows what we're going to do in that moment, but just building that confidence in one another.
How do you think Tyler Stevens doing in communications with them at the line of scrimmage, having that continuity?
Yeah, I think he's doing an amazing job. Steen has stepped in every opportunity he's had and really taking advantage of that moment, and he's doing the same right now. It's a collective effort when you talk about making calls and getting the table set up there, and it's really all 6 of us, mainly the interior 3, center leading it, and then myself kind of seeing it. So it's just an overall communication. Steen's doing a great job. I know Lane talks highly of him and speaks highly of him, believes in him a lot, and that's important for him, because that's his neighbor and his running mate.
What's it been like going up against Jahad Campbell?
Sorry?
What's it been like going up against Jahad Campbell?
Yeah, for Jahad, he has a presence on the field with his range and how quick he is, how fast he is. He definitely is you can see he's a great football player, and he's just flying around. You see the guys come in, and you start to see him settle down and just you're starting to see that a little bit from a reactive standpoint. He's going to continue to learn everything and build off of where he is. And, you know, they got a great linebacker room in there to help him along his journey, great coaches. And so he'll continue to build, but he has a ton of athletic ability, natural football instinct, and definitely feel it on the field.
Thanks, John. Thanks, everyone. I'll be up for today.
It ain't no doggone tomorrow, fellas. What are you gonna bring to the doggone table? Are you gonna bust somebody in their mouth? Are you gonna do your doggone job? Are you gonna play from your doggone chest? Are you gonna play from your heart and get everything you doggone got? Cause I'ma do that. They don't respect us. They don't know about our heart, man. That thing is beating in your doggone chest right now. Whatever you got to